All right, so you want to create a new society. First thing you're going to want to do before you go into the societies section is you want to check your crossplay. So if you hit the start button and go into settings, go over to settings, go down to social. So depending on whether you have cross-platform play on or off will depend on how your society gets created. And if you create your society with cross-platform play on, then anyone who has cross-platform play turned off will not see your society, and vice versa. So you need to decide which way you want that. For this example, we're going to have cross-play turned on. Now that we've established that, we come back out to the main menu. And we're going to go over to our online societies. And here's where you will see which societies you are already a part of that have cross-platform turned on in our case. So that's step one. So here you can have your society, or you could join a new one. So we already have our society, so I'm going to go into that one. And we'll just take a quick look. So first thing you're going to want to do when you get in here before you start adding events is you're going to go over to administration, click on your difficulty, and here you will set what your difficulty will be. Up at the top you have the presets. They go from open, which means whatever somebody's standard preset is how they will play your tournaments. So somebody could have their preset set on Pro-Am, they'll play it as Pro-Am. Someone else has their preset set at Master, they will play your tournaments at the Master level. Any of these other ones will mean everyone has to play at the same difficulty preset. All of my societies I've ever done, and I just leave them on Pro. But you can decide whatever you want for your society. Then you go to your society settings, and here you'll give your society a name. You can choose the color, so we have a blue background with those emblems. You can decide whether you want your society play style. I just left as casual. I'm not familiar with the other modes. You can say whether you want consumable golf balls on or off. Anything that says open means it's just the user's default. Your security level. This is an important one. If you leave it at public, anybody who finds your society can come in and play it. So if you want to keep your society closed, you'll have to make it private. And then people will have to request access to your society, and you will have to approve that access in order to do it. So just beware, you leave it at public, you'll get people you do not know coming in, and whether they're really good or they cheat or whatever, they may come in and win all your tournaments and take all the money. So beware. And for his handicap, I turned it off because most people do not like the handicap system, and it just makes it more complicated. So I turned that off. You can put in a message that will just say for that day, this is a daily message that will show up. And then the About Us, you put a little more overall information about your society. You might say, this society is on pro level. This society will have tournaments every week or every couple of days, whatever you want. Enable the message board that allows users to post messages. So you'll go through that. This is where if you have a closed society or private society, this is where your membership requests will be, and you'll have to come in here and grant people access to get into your society. Donate to your society bank. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, you will see a society bank. That is money that is in your society available for payouts on tournament prizes. So you can deposit money, or other people can deposit money into your society, but that money stays in the society and can only be used for payouts uh, for the results of particular tournaments. If you have no active tournaments or active events scheduled, you could end a season and then start a new season, because you can keep track of statistics during the season and for every user that's played. And you can use those statistics as qualifications for certain events. So you could have everybody playing for a season, and then you could have a championship that's only the top 10 people for earnings or points that get to play in that. And then you can say, it just says when the society was last modified. So if you go over to members, you will see if there are any members for your society. Statistics will show you how many events have been played and things like that. Social just gives you the same information, your message of the day. Completed events would show any events that have been completed, and active events will show events that are scheduled, either currently running or scheduled to run in the future. And you can put as many events into the queue to schedule them into the future as you want. So when you're ready to add an event, you will just come here, you will click on Add Event. There's your main page. So if you click on the main event, and then this would be for your alternate event. This will be the start date for your event, the end date, and it will automatically tell you how many days it runs for, and then entry requirements. And then when you're done setting all of those, you click Create Event. So if we go back to Main Event, click that. First thing we're going to have to do on the left-hand side, so there's 3 boxes here. The left-hand side, click that. You're going to have to find a course. So we will just go pick. You can pick your courses. You pick any course that you find anywhere. So here's some courses I've made. We'll just take this one for just to have one. So we bring this one in, and that's all you do on that block is pick the course. Then you'll go to your event settings. Here you can rename it. It defaults to the name of the golf course, but you can call it whatever you want. You can categorize your events as regular, signature, major, finals. Just gives you a way to differentiate them. Maybe your regular events will be courses you've made, and then a signature event will be some special course that you have. And then you'll pick a major. Maybe you'll have 4 majors throughout the year, and you'll pick a course for that and put more points on it and maybe more earnings potential. And also maybe some qualification requirements. And then the same for the finals. So we'll just say this is a regular event. No handicap scoring, consumable golf balls, we'll leave that open. Here you set how much do you want people to have to pay to play your event. You can go as high as $5,000. You want to pick something that is low enough that people will be interested in paying it, but high enough that it'll accumulate enough money to be worth playing. So if you said we're going to make it 100, and you want the entire 100 to go towards the payout for the tournament, 100%. If you put this at 50%, that means half of that 100 entry fee will be paid out at the tournament. The other half will stay in your society bank. And then you can build up money in there and then use that money for maybe a major tournament to have a bonus purse. So you could say for this tournament, we'll pay out half of all the entry fees, plus we'll pay out an extra 300 VC, as an example. But you'll have to have that 300 in your bank when you start in order to save this tournament. So you could set it up like that. Then you click to round 1. You'll pick your tees, your pins, your wind, your weather, green speeds. So you can modify all this to make it as easy or as difficult as you want. And that's round 1. If you want more than a 1-round tournament, then you go and click on Add Round, and you do the exact same thing, and this would be now for round 2. And you can go round 3, round 4. So you can go up to 4 rounds. And if you don't want that, then you just hit your square and you delete round 4. You can delete round 3, delete round 2. So you could set it up to have 1 to 4 rounds, and you could set it up to be 1 day up to 7 days per. I think it allows you, when we get to the event settings page, then we'll see. So that's the event settings. And then your round settings, again, takes you right back into where we were. So we have that. We back out of that. Now we have our event. Now, if we want to have an alternate event, suppose we want an entry requirement. And if you don't meet the entry requirements, then you can play in an alternate event. So we'll say it's going to be 1 round, it's going to be 1 day, and we want an entry requirement. So we come in here, we click on new entry requirement, and here's our options. Season leaders, so it'll look at the statistics for the whole season, and you can filter out and say you only want the top 5 who are the season leaders in money or points, somebody who's played the previous event, or somebody who in the results history has something. I typically don't have alternate events, but maybe if you have like a major tournament and you want only the top so many people to be in it, but you still want everyone else to have an event for that day or week, you could come in and do this. But since this would be the first tournament of the season, we wouldn't have anything like that. So if you click on one of these, you say season leaders, then it takes you in and says, okay, I want the top 5 in total earnings or total points. We'll say earnings, season, and we'll say current season. So that would be one way to set this up. But we're not going to have one. So there will be no entry requirement, therefore there will be no alternate. There will be no alternate event. So this is going to start today. It's going to run for 1 day. It's just 1 round tournament. We would come down here, click create event. And now you will have this event on your schedule right there. So there's our event. It says open, meaning it's active right now for people to join and play. And it tells you it ends in 8 hours because the time for this game, it is noon. It ends at 8 p.m. Eastern time, which is 4 hours. So basically this game is centered pretty close around Central European time, but not exactly. So either way, that ends in 8 hours. So that tournament will be open until tonight, and then it will close. And when it closes, then the leaderboard and results are published and payouts all happen. If you want to add a second event, you add a second event, and it will automatically set the start date to be after the current event you have closes. And then you say end dates. Maybe I want this one to be a week, or 2 days or whatever. And then you confirm that, and now it's set for 2 days. And you just would keep adding events on and on to keep your season active. And that's pretty much all there is to creating a society and scheduling events. So you can put some comments and questions in on this video, and I'll publish another video and explain more if needed. Thanks for watching.